afternoon, sir. It is a pleasure to have you on our campus at SIBM Pune. It was a very insightful session for our students today. And how was your experience interacting with the students of SIBM Pune today?
I think coming to a campus is always fascinating. At a personal level, you go back to your own days as an MBA student. And the way in which these students asked me questions, I think it was remarkable. Clearly, they would have done deep homework. They were prepared. They were clear what they wanted to know about the company and the program. And having responded to such clarity of thought is always a fascinating experience. And before I forget, beautiful location.
Thank you, sir. So you have worked through very diverse sectors like fashion right now and insurance, capital. What are the key takeaways from these industries that you have?
See, every industry has a rhythm. Every industry has a specific challenge that it in some sense teaches you uniquely. And you're right that each one of these sectors would have left me richer in their own way. Insurance taught me tenacity, just to be relentless. It's a difficult industry to be in. It tests your tenacity to the hilt. And I think having worked there, my ability to be tenacious in my approach towards goal has significantly gone up. Stamina improves once you work in insurance. Capital in some sense an extension, but the way in which I worked in Aditya Birla Capital, it taught me ability to consume diversity of information and data and yet derive insights from that diversity and be cogent about your proposal. To be able to hold so much together and yet be able to act. I think that's the one. Fashion, I'm rather new. I don't know what it has already taught me. Maybe be very sensitive about consumers and to recognize that the days of consumer segmentation is over. Now every consumer is a segment. I think that appreciation fashion and retail has already taught me, apart from the fact that it helps me to look good.
Okay, so you graduated from the marketing course of MBA and you've worked in marketing field as well. So now you have shifted to the HR domain, and what led you to make this shift?
Frankly, I did not think too much. I have never planned my career in such a clear way that there is a specific reason why I will shift. What I can definitely tell you is after a few years, irrespective of which function you work, you do dominantly HR. You're responsible for getting the right team members, you're responsible for inspiring them, making them work, deliver them new result, provide environment where they are able to give their best. In a lot of sense, you are an HR manager. I don't think I thought very specifically as to these are my reason number 1, 2, 3 to join HR. I'm in the business of solving problems, organizational problems. I had solved it through marketing all these years, then through sales training for some years, then through learning and development for some years. I thought that time had come for me to solve it through the lens of classical HR professional. That's the way I look at it.
So at Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail, how do you weave knowledge transfer from the senior management to maybe the new joinees and make them into a future leader?
I think that's a fascinating question. We do quite a bit. From the classical classroom learning and development leadership programs that is available to all levels of the hierarchy, to one-to-one coaching with senior leaders, to a huge emphasis on live projects at a certain seniority level where people learn by doing rather than only by listening and reading, to mentoring pieces, and through simple conversations with senior leaders. I think it's the whole 9 yards of it. We believe that developing leaders from below cannot be done by doing only one thing or two things. It requires a whole system approach, and therefore all the approaches that I just described to you are fired together, and that's why we have significant improvement and experience of developing leaders from below.
Okay. So according to you, what makes a candidate a cultural fit for Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail?
Oh, that's a tricky one. But a few that clearly come to my mind. I think somebody who is able to deal with polarities
Yeah.
with maturity. For example, polarity of aggression and sanity.
Hmm.
Polarity between questioning the status quo and yet being respectful.
Yeah.
Respectful of legacy. For example, the polarity between thinking innovative ways
Hmm.
as well as leveraging on what is already very good. I think those are the people who are matured and yet hungry to question status quo, are good cultural fits for Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail.
Okay, so sir, on a closing note, any advice that you would like to leave with the budding managers at SIM in Pune?
Maybe two.
Hmm.
The first thing is learn management as much from practice as much from books. Give your projects a very high degree of importance.
Yeah.
You will learn more management doing things than reading about them.
Right.
My second advice would be, even while you're preparing yourself to learn the world of functional expertise like marketing or HR or supply chain or operations,
Hmm.
spend enormous amount of time in understanding people.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that you don't do enough during B school. You believe subjects and expertise in subjects is all that makes you a great leader.
Yeah.
I think knowing about people, what makes them tick, what ticks them off, what inspires them. How do you make 100 people follow you? That's a trick that they don't teach you in the class. I think you'll have to learn it somewhere.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time, for giving us time, and I'm sure our viewers have gained very valuable insights from this interview. We hope to host you again on campus. Thank you.
Look forward. Thank you.
Thank you.